Episode 23.
Three.
Three. I was like, whoa, how far? How you doing, Aaron?
Great, Corey. How you doing today?
Good, good. Glad to be getting to sit down and chat with you, see what our community's got going on. Busy
Oh,
week,
man.
right?
Yeah, we have got a jam-packed show, everybody. Welcome back to Corey and MC VeVe Live, episode 23. What a crazy week. We're going to cover so much stuff today, so much to talk about. And we have giveaways, too, in the chat, which is great.
Giveaways.
As always, right? But Corey, first off, super busy week for you. How's your team doing? You guys pumping away on your on all the work you're doing for stuff upcoming?
Yeah, absolutely. We're doing really good. I think the whole Star Wars campaign gave us kind of a shot in the arm because that was a lot of content for us to manage.
Yeah.
Not just my team, but all the teams involved with that. And now we're just immediately rolling into the next campaign, which I'm excited. I think, anyone watching this is going to be excited. We're going to be a little more campaign focused moving forward. Not that every single month is going to be, a specific campaign, but we're going to try to theme out months just to make it a little bit easier. I think there's a lot of value in kind of knowing ahead of time what's coming, so you can sort of plan that into your collecting life, because it's hard times for a lot of people. I get that just as much as the next. So it's kind of nice to have a little bit of a longer view of what's coming, because even though it's Star Wars month, we're releasing other things, right? But yeah,
we're not done. Yeah,
we're hitting the ground running. No time for rest. Keep moving forward.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. Yeah, well, we'll get right into it, everybody. Hey, just so you know, if you're joining us today, we have Josh and we have OMW in the chat.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're just going to be helping out today. As always, thank you so much, you guys. It really means a ton that you guys are here doing your stuff. And of course, I want everybody to make sure you head over to Discord to see all the amazing stuff that's going on there. We got events, live shows, games, giveaways, sweepstakes. I mean, it's just
Dungeons and Dragons. Every time I go on Discord, there's always people in voice chat, doing something, playing poker, Dungeons and Dragons, comic chats, you name it, they're doing it. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's as active as you could be. But thanks, guys, for going in there. If you're in the chat and you're hanging out today, as always, make sure you're chatting, doing your thing, making comments, letting us know what you think. And you'll have a chance to win a VeVe digital collectible or comic, just by being here and hanging out with us today, as always, in our live stream, right? So, but let's get right into this, guys. We have a jam-packed show, and, we got so much to cover. Let's start off, actually, Corey, with the amazing video that you did with, Dan and David, of course. Let us know a little bit what this is about. I know it's just live as of yesterday. I think it's well over 2,000 something views now on our YouTube channel. Nice. People are really watching it. Give us a bit of an outline of what you guys talked about there.
Yeah, absolutely. It was our business update, which I think the goal is to do those quarterly, but I think they're probably going to happen a little more frequently with that. And it's just talking about more of the shift into sort of a co-founder-led initiative. And really, when it comes down to it, I've been here for a while and we've had a lot of shifts. And, everyone that comes and everyone that goes really adds a lot to the equation. But when it comes to VeVe, I like to quote Stan Lee, Excelsior, onwards and upwards. And that sort of is how we look at this business and what we're doing. People come, people go, but we're moving, and it's moving forward, moving upwards. But yeah, they kind of talked about some of the initiatives, some of the goals, what it means to be founder led, and all of that good stuff. It was a good chat. And then I think, as per typical David and Dan, they sprinkling stuff in the backgrounds and all that.
Yeah, you gotta keep your eyes peeled. It's crazy. No, I love what you said.
Everyone looks at their background, but I'm just going to point out that I had a Mandalorian helmet, I had the Mandalorian comic, I had Grogu, I've had all that stuff behind me for months and months and months. And what all's releasing this month? Just saying. But not saying.
You never know. No, I love what you said right there too, Corey. We have some people who are at VeVe who are way more prominent, who the public sees, who they interact with, and of course they have built a relationship with. And then we have lots of other people at VeVe who have contributed over the years that you mentioned that, you know, the public may not have seen, who have done amazing work in the background, and they've left for a variety of reasons, you know, like maybe onto a new job, maybe they moved or whatever. Life, you know how it is when people work at places, just like you or me or anyone else who's ever worked in multiple places at times. And their contributions sometimes go totally unnoticed, you know, and they've done amazing stuff for the platform. I know that, you know, we've had obviously some pretty, you know, prominent, you know, departures recently, and they've done incredible things as well. And I know your team and the rest of us are super grateful for everything they brought, especially with the founders too. I mean, I know that's what you guys were talking about.
Even like this little hoodie that I'm wearing, this was Alex's hoodie, you know, way back in the day with Alex. But yeah, we've had a lot of really, really amazing, talented people, and we've been really fortunate to work with them. And they always leave. It's kind of like we're building a foundation, and there's a lot of people laying different bricks in different spots. But regardless, the building's got to go up. We got to pave those roads. We're pioneering an entirely new collectible niche, and the work's not done, and it may never be done. And that's great for the people that love being here. That's great. You know, there's always more to do.
Yeah, 100%. And I know that the pathway is just moving along like it's crazy, right? What everything that's happening. You talked about campaigns. We're going to show the Star Wars stuff. We're going to get into that in a few minutes. Just the way that that your team, and I know that the internal team and stuff, and the planning behind what we're doing is wild. We're reaching out to bigger areas too. We have a Star Wars thing to show you guys where, you know, Star Wars picked up our helmet, and that's pretty crazy. We'll talk about that shortly. But great job on the video. And everybody, as always, you know, you can always give us feedback, you know, in the comment section of the video. We also posted about this video as well. And also, you know, right on the VeVe app in the bottom right-hand corner, there's the feedback, you know, for support, for contacting support, but for also ideas, for also, you know, just how you're feeling about things, suggestions. We're always monitoring that. There's a whole team of people behind that, right, Corey? And we love seeing it. That stuff comes right into our meetings, and we get to talk about stuff. So we're really, I know that David and Dan are right there with reading that stuff as well. So we're all right here for you.
More now than ever.
More now than ever. I can't wait for the next update. You said that they're in the video that they'll be.
Well, we're going to be doing more than just these formal updates, like for sure, you know, quarterly business updates. That's got to be a thing that we do, just so everyone that's attached to this, whether you're a collector, a fan, someone who collected a while ago and kind of just waiting to see what happens, or you're a stakeholder or partner, really essential that we're doing those things. But beyond that, we want to be doing more content driven things. So you're going to see those two popping up in all kinds of fun places. So it's going to be,
never know, right? Okay, well, let's move on, guys. If you want, you can check out that video, of course, right there on our YouTube channel. You can see there's our wonderful Corey right there talking, the three of them. It's a nice 16-minute video, lots of content, lots of future stuff in there, which is great. Thanks for doing that, and let us know what you guys think for sure. Let's move on. We had a Avengers Infinity War, the Gauntlet anniversary. Can you believe this, Corey? It's already
this was the first major crafting initiative ever, and there were so many teasers for it, and there was so much speculation about it, because, you know, the time stone drop, like all the different parts and pieces, and there was so much speculation on, is it going to be a thing? And then it was a huge challenge from a content perspective, because there was so much of a backlog of information to sort of compile, and it was a pretty complex crafting initiative, like when it came down to it, like burning things to get the stones, and then the stones go in the gauntlet, and the gauntlet does this. But yeah, man, I remember the first time I saw the model snap.
With
sort of that like metallic sound. It literally gave me goosebumps. I was like, dude, this is so cool. And Avengers hype was just like crazy high for the MCU at that point.
Oh, so I know. Look at this right here. Look at the comments on the post. So this is creative. That actually goes really well.
Yeah, it goes hard. It looks really good.
Thanks, Devil Ventures. That's amazing. But yeah, that's a lot of fun. And by the way, we have a new anniversary that just hit today. We'll talk about that in just a second as well. Another iconic collectible that, of course, ties into the Avengers. But thanks for sharing that with us, everybody. All your stuff right here. And we'll just keep celebrating more and more. And we'll see what happens in the future with these collectibles, right? Then, of course, we had last week. So we weren't live last week, everybody. We were super crazy busy. So sorry we weren't here for you, but we're back. But we did run a VeVe feed contest last week, and it was all Star Wars related. Nice. And you can see every single one of these is absolutely awesome. We would have covered it on the live, of course, but we had a couple of winners from this one, but every single one of them was super great. We had votes for all of them. You can see Dubes down there. I think his might have been number 1 on the vote, I think. And
what is the Alex TT? Is that like the
look at that,
dude, is that the inside of a ship or like a wooden boat or hobbit hole? Like what am I looking at there?
Yeah, that is incredible. I'm not sure. It could be in the VeVe-verse maybe, or maybe they built that, but that's like, yeah, you can see there's like a hallway down there.
Ribs, yeah.
Super crazy, right? So look at over Dios Mio over there with the self-made. He's doing the stormtrooper, and
so good.
And there's what do you call Demo Ventures again right there. You can see that, and then 8-Ball Black. So these are all amazing, everybody. Thanks for participating. We had 4 winners again in that. 2 voting winners, but then 2 just random winners. If you vote on these, we just do a random generator there, and so one of you can win just by voting and having fun. And that's the spirit of it. And if you look at what the challenges are going on, Corey, in the app with the VeVe feed right now, it's just going like absolute bazonkers in there.
Yeah, it's really, really fun. I just saw some messaging within our company messaging system about some of the feedback on that, just the amount of participation and the sheer number of people who have perfect scores is really wild. But this is just such great information. We're really glad that some of you are enjoying that. And it's good for us because all of that gets calculated and we look at it and we try to figure out how can we improve that and sort of make that a more central feature. Really, really slick. I love it.
100%. And it is a challenge in there, everybody. We'll talk about the challenges. We'll show the leaderboard in just a bit, but it is a challenge, and it's up to you guys to see if you can win. Now, we did have a new contest that just went live. So if you go on our X page on our feed, you'll see these are all the new ones, and this just started today. This will go all the way through into the weekend from a lot. Just 12 more awesome entries. Just Grogu's in there. You can see.
Look at all of them.
I know he's really taken off. We could have probably done another Star Wars, feed, but there were so many other ones that were really great as well that aren't Star Wars like necessarily focused that we thought we'd do it. Maybe we'll come back with another Star Wars one next week because then we'll have all the rest of the stuff that we're going to talk about, like helmets, pod racers, all of that. But you can see this one's right there on our X page right now. You can go and vote. And, vote for the best one and then put your name in there. Make sure you reshare these, everybody, and comment and all that kind of stuff. And share your love for all the creations. And in the feed, too, make sure you're in the VeVe feed and you're commenting on people's awesome creations. And check out some of their vaults, too. Like you go inside there, you can see people's showrooms. I mean, I've been having a ton of fun doing that, trying to do the challenges. But I don't know where you are in the challenges, Corey, but I'm like just above the top 250. I'm sort of like I'm kind of on the.
I am not in the stratosphere. I wish I was, but it's kind of
you're too busy.
End of the day, going to bed or going to the bathroom, open up the app, do what I got to do.
Yeah, for sure. Look who's here. We got the True Media Group is in the house. So many great videos, you guys. We had so many other people who have joined as well. Earlier today, we were watching VeVe Arcade. He was doing a nice live stream, of course. All of our content. Yeah, we were in there watching. He was breaking down the business update video, which a lot of people have done, which is great. That was a lot of fun to watch that. And great to see you guys right here.
Videos. He's such a wild card. He's so fun to watch.
He was so
entertaining, bro.
He was really funny today, and the chat was actually really funny with all the speculation. It was actually really funny. And there's a big party that he's doing in Vegas at DCon, right? Which we'll obviously VeVe's going to help support, and
good.
It's going to be super fun to see that, right? I mean, we'll see what he does with that. But last year's apparently was absolutely stellar, right? And we provided a bunch of giveaways, which was cool, but it'd be cool to actually go. So we'll see what happens. Hey, Corey, little Vegas trip if we can, but but make sure you vote on this, everybody. Let's move on to the next one. We also had this past week, I think it was just over a week ago, the Addiction Gold logo was dropped. And of course, there was also the silver logo, right, which was dropped if you held one of each of the addiction comics, like just one, any variant of each one, you got that one version of the logo. And if you held all of them, that you completed the sets on all of them, surprise, you got the gold logo. And this is just absolutely amazing. This came as a big surprise to me. I had no idea this was happening here.
Floor price of 1,000 gems. Good on you if you snag that. But that, I mean, it's for fans, right? Love Vincent. Yeah. Love what he does for the comic community. Like when it comes down to it, I love what he's doing with our community in terms of rewarding people and getting them to enjoy what he's doing.
Oh, it's
such a wild card. I can't wait to talk to him. That's like, we're going into convention season again, which means I'm going to get to talk to all these people that I haven't got to really touch bases with in a while. It's going to be fun.
Oh, it's super fun chatting with him, going over to their booth as well. And like, you know, just geeking out on those unbelievable Grail comics that they always have. And then the physical addiction stuff that, you know, and what's happened with this is really crazy too, because if you go to the Discord, you know, right now, as we mentioned earlier, you know, because Josh is here and OMW is here helping out in the chat as well. You can see in the VeVe announcement section right here, you got to get into the Discord, everybody, and hang out there. There's so much stuff going on every day. Josh doing a great job there with all the mods and everybody. You can see right here, here's the announcement about the gold logo airdrop. This was actually before. So, you know, not before the airdrop, but it was telling you that the airdrop has happened. The snapshot was already taken. So this was if you had collected them and you already had them and you were a fan and with no incentive, you just wanted them, right? You had them all. This was right here. If you held the full comic set of the Addiction 3, you got the on May the 5th was dropped and there was one per complete set held. And it was wild. So in the announcements over here and all the stuff you can see on the left, if you can see it, I know it's a bit hard to see on screen, but there's sweepstakes in here, drop show stuff, booster sweepstakes, the VeVe feed, the announcements, all the events are up here. It's absolutely awesome. And there's a whole, I think there's a whole like addiction logo group in there, I believe too.
Nice.
Which is wild. So there you go. Just giving you the heads up, everybody, you know,
spreading the good word.
Yeah, that's awesome for sure. And then here's our anniversary. Now, this technically the anniversary was yesterday, okay, on the 14th of May from 3 years ago, Corey.
You know what's wild about this one is, you know, I don't know how many people in chat know, but my oldest son is named Thor, right? And I got the rarest of the rare on this drop. Which is wild because it was real hard to get drops back then. You know, you have
the SR.
I landed the SR and he was in the backseat eating donuts because we had driven somewhere to get better connection to the internet.
Oh, you did the thing where you had to do. Oh, yeah, you were. Yeah. I know that. Were you at a Starbucks? Apparently, that was pretty good back in the day, or something.
I think it was a parking lot outside of a. I think there was a Starbucks close by, but yeah, it was just a random parking lot.
Yeah, for sure. Well, 3 years ago, yesterday on the 14th, Thor came to the app, and that was a crazy one for sure. And there's a giveaway attached to this anniversary post. Nice. Yeah, so if you go to our X page, which you can see the post is right there, if you just share one of your Thor images or like, you know, do something creative in AR, you know, someone's going to win a prize right there. It's just going to be random. So you just comment down below, have some fun with it. Enjoy Thor, share some stuff with his lightning going off or whatever. And I don't have the SR. I would love to. That's pretty cool. But having that whole set would be, I mean, it's Thor. Like it's Thor, so right? It's so cool. But 3 years ago, like, wow. So we're going to keep on with these anniversary posts. I love to see this old graphic too with the
even the OG VeVe logo.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to love it. You'll celebrate that. So that's live right now on our X page. If you guys want to check that out and participate and have a chance to win something and celebrate him right there. Now, here is the here is the challenge page. I just wanted to quickly show this. We were talking about it earlier. Here's the top 250 leaderboard right here. You can see everyone's up to 510. Look at me. This is my personal account, everybody. I'm at 253. I'm just outside.
Just so close.
I'm trying to like do it as much as I can. I mean, we're super busy, like you said, but look at all these amazing people right here who are just, you know, just challenging away every day, which is great. And
how much more time?
Sorry?
How much more time's left in the challenge period?
Yeah, right up here we have another 13 days. 13 days. You know, we're kind of like right in the middle of it. We're already up to almost up to milestone 4, which you can see all the prizes have increased, you know, because this is community driven. So the more people are participating, you keep going, we get bigger prizes right there. And then you can see here's all the qualifying activities, of course. And there's some rules down here for tie breaking and stuff when we get to the end. And, you know, I know that the team, Corey, is working on other challenges and different things in the future. So, you know, keep letting us know what you think about these ones down here in the feedback chat. You can see at the bottom. Or just, you know, you can just get on Discord, let us know, or just, you know, in the feed. And I know there's going to be other stuff too, though, like crazy different kinds of challenges. So it's also, it's going to be exciting.
It is going to be exciting.
Now, do you know if they can do more than one challenge at a time? We'll have to see about that, hey? If there could be like multiple, like up in the challenges.
I don't know the answer to that. I know who would have the answer to that, but I don't want to speak to it without knowing, that's for sure.
Yeah, we'll figure that out, everybody, and let you know in the official channels for sure. But that's ongoing. Let us know where you stand on that and how much fun you're having. This is one other thing we wanted to do right here. This is just a little mini poll question, and I think this you know ties into our Star Wars Mandalorian drop. And this is kind of you know, this is a fun one. You can see that it's who is your favorite character from the Mandalorian and drop right there. Grogu and the Pram, and Grogu and the Pram have like ran away with that poll question. You can see how, even though the Mandalorian, like, you know, he's over my shoulder.
The show's called Mandalorian. I'm partial because I missed the drop, and so by the time I got to my phone, he was gone. He was gone.
Oh, no way! Are you serious?
Yeah, so I went and I grabbed my Mandalorian. I got a good mint on it, which I was excited about. And I was like, Grogu, you've already like ×2'd, you son of a gun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great to see, though. It is great to see people getting excited about it. I get the love for it. Like, I love Grogu too. But still, like Din Djarin at Mandalorian. His name is the show. Like, come on, people.
Well, the whole thing is actually performing really well. People are really seeming to love it. Here's a little a note from Josh as we go back about 2 or 3 minutes.
Cool.
Thanks, Josh, for posting this. There's a special chat channel for the Addiction Gold logo holders. Vincent is in the voice chat. David, you stopped by for a quick visit. Nice. So get in there, everybody, and enjoy what's going on. Thanks, Josh, for posting that. Like I said, Discord's where you got to be. We got O'Milly in the house right here. Thanks for popping in as well. Great stuff as well. We got, you know, some guys, we love our content creators out there who are just doing the most amazing stuff ever. But, you know, we'll have more poll questions on this. We'll see where this goes in a couple weeks and where Mandalorian ends up and all that. It's just a lot of fun. We also had this, so it was Mother's Day this past weekend, as you know, if anyone knows. I mean, hopefully hopefully you didn't forget, everybody. if you did, that's on you.
Never too late if you did forget. You know, you can make good on it. Get some like Lego flowers.
Every day is Mother's Day, right? Every day is Mother's Day. Hey, Sean, welcome to to watching us here today. Thanks for coming out. For sure. And so what was really cool is that Rudy and Tina, if you're not aware, the really great community members, amazing collectors on the app. They have some unbelievable stuff. And they actually Tina hosted with a whole bunch of the VeVe fam, a Mother's Day space just to celebrate.
Nice.
There's giveaways that they provided. VeVe provided some. They did some on their own. It was just a really cool space. You can actually go listen to the recording right there. It was recorded. And we really want to thank them for putting that together. That was a really fun, awesome community event that, you know, you just got to love. I mean, like the heart's in the right place on that one. Gave people a place to go check it out. And, you know, you can see that, you know, the community is strong. The community loves each other. So that was fantastic. Yeah, a lot of fun. So we wanted to shout that out, give them some recognition. But here's a little thing that also, in terms of getting together, this is crazy. So we'll read this tweet right here that went out. And there's also an email that went out as well. But check this out. I know we've had some changes to our events. Thanks, everybody, for your patience on that, for sure. But check this out. Big news, VeVe fam. We're thrilled to share that our co-founders, David Yu and Dan Crothers, are heading to Lisbon for the NFC Summit 2025, and we want you there with us. Of course. I mean, they love seeing everybody. So they're giving away 60 free tickets to join for 3 days of next-gen collecting, community, and creativity. Down here, you can apply right here. There's a link on the X post. And also, you may have received an email too. So you can click that link. It takes you to a form. You fill it out. Your ticket, if you're one of the people, gets a full 3-day access to the summit, entry to the panels, exhibits, and workshops that they have, networking sessions. access to VeVe and Stacker booth experiences, which is going to be awesome. Community meetups with David, Dan, and the VeVe team, and main stage talks and exclusive VeVe Stacker booth and in-person meetups with the VeVe team and fans. So that's. I wish we were going, Corey. I mean,
I think there's even more.
There's even more
potentially, but yeah, it was a lot of fun putting that booth together. It's nice to be able to split it with Stackr. Have a Stackr side and a VeVe side. Really highlights sort of the hand-in-hand relationship that we're trying to develop as we find more utility and use cases for all the different facets that kind of build out VeVe.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's going to be so fun. I wish we could go to that one. We'll be at other ones potentially, everybody. Stay tuned, but we can't wait for you guys to meet David and Dan there and have a great time and do everything. And that's a really amazing event. It's awesome to see. KC BMW's in the house. Thank you so much for your awesome calendars. If you guys aren't following them on Twitter with those, I don't know how they keep up with what we announced. We announced that the calendar's updated. We announced the calendar's updated. So thank you so much. So if you're looking for, to keep track of stuff, that's a great place to go, as always, right? But more news and more.
I was joking with the production team that we ought to just do like fun collectible that we just make, like VeVe brand collectibles, and one of them could just be one of those calendars from her or him, whoever that is. Just have a calendar as a collectible that we just release for MCP points. Like we should just start doing goofy stuff like that. So we're working on it. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. No promises. No promises.
Yeah. Omar, yes, Grogu did hit the buy now on MyCollectables. Yes. Grogu
did he? Did he really?
Oh yeah, you just boop, Anyway, more news coming out about all the events coming up. So stay tuned for that, everybody. And make sure you click that link and see what happens. Let's get on to our Marvel Comics releases this week. We had some really great ones as well. This is on VeVe Comics. Of course, we had Godzilla vs. X-Men #1.
Godzilla!
That series is so cool with the Godzilla verse. We had Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, the Hulk.
My son's into Godzilla right now. So we're watching a bunch of like King Kong, Godzilla, Mothra, type things. Both, the vintage and the modern. He's getting a kick out of it. So it's cool to see this sort of X-Men collaboration.
It's like the old stuff, like the classic stuff is hilarious.
So good.
It's good. It's good entertainment, you guys. And the comic is super fun as well. Check that out. And then this one is really cool too. We had the Spider-Verse verse Venomverse #1. They're like bringing them two together, which both of these storylines have been really popular in Marvel Comics in the newer releases. They've done pretty well on the VeVe Comics Reader app as well, which is pretty cool. But this is a really cool issue. I mean, so much stuff going on with this. I'd love to see this kind of stuff in the movies. You can see they're sort of doing it with Miles Morales and the Spider-Verse, and we'll see what they do. But that's another one that came out this week as well. There's a whole bunch that came out. We had a whole tweet around it with everything. And then we have the all-new Deadly Gwenpool. So that's a really cool combination. And then One World Under Doom. This is really cool as well. So all the stuff tying into those movies coming up, you're just seeing so much really cool stuff with that. There's a whole other series of comics that come out this week. So check it out on the VeVe Comics site as always. And then of course we also had the Dynamite releases coming as well. Red Sonja versus the Army of Darkness #3. And talk about a hilarious comic read. Ash is the best. He might because me seeing these again has brought up a lot of like Army of Darkness.
I just watched that movie with my oldest son too, and he just was like losing his mind how funny it is because it's so campy. With the skeletons and like all the goofiness.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Altman, good question right here. So we will be we're looking at releasing that information as much as we possibly can. And we haven't had a chance to do that in the last little bit here, but stay tuned for that as we, all the new stuff that comes out is built for the VeVeverse. So generally speaking, it gets in there very quickly. It's the older stuff that we're working on too and plowing through, from way long time ago. So just stay tuned. We'll do our best to communicate what stuff gets in, when it gets in. We haven't been able to do that last few weeks, but that's right on our.
It's something I'm working on as a priority from a content perspective.
Yeah,
we're just trying to find the best way to organize because some of that work happens across many different teams, and so as with anything, it's sort of coordinating information in a logical way. Because the most important thing is we don't want to be releasing information that's incorrect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're
Yeah.
we're just sort of streamlining that process to make sure that we're articulating the correct information. If we're putting that in graphics or videos or even just social posts, we just want to make sure that we're providing 100% correct information.
Yeah, exactly. So thanks. Good question on that one. We'll keep you updated. So other stuff we had right here, Silverhawks #4, another comic that's come out. And then this Green Hornet and Miss Fury. Look at the old school art. I love that kind of detective comic-y sort of like look from
Noir.
that noir era. That's so cool. That's #5 came out. And Space Ghost #12. Space Ghost is super cool. And so those are all out there right now as well. And then we also this week, today actually, at 10 a.m. today, we have the Humanoids releases come out as well. So we have Project Arca right there, and these are a little different. These are like a little bit more more storyline based, and a little bit more in depth in terms of. I don't know how to describe it exactly, Corey, but they're not like as much like comic-y like like Spider-Man. They're more like there's more emotion to them. There's more drama in them in a lot of ways.
Yeah, more dialogue
More
driven.
dialogue.
It's less. I think when a lot of people are approaching comics as just sort of a generalist, you kind of are assuming you're reading something that's sort of superhero themed.
Yeah.
Whereas whenever you're diving into these, you're really getting, a novel put into a comic form. So there's a lot more dialogue, character building, and tension, plot, and deeper themes, and a lot of it being far more adult into that specific genre, whether that's science fiction, fantasy, a merger of both. But
Yeah,
as
exactly.
reading, that's for sure.
Yeah, totally. And you can find all of these right here on the VeVe comic site, as always. Up here in the new this week section, you can sort by relevance, date published, all of that. And you can see all the same day as print ones from Marvel mixed in with the Dynamite Entertainment and the Humanoids. And you can click on each one of these. And if you click in here, which is cool, you can get the reader version, or you can go for the limited edition, which gives you that blind box where you could land any one of these covers right here, these variants. And of course, if there's a 5 one right here, I think that Secret Rare is at about 40 editions. So some really fun, amazing, scarce work there, some exclusive art. So check that out, as always, everybody. And, it's a lot of fun. And big shout out to Mahalo, if you don't know, who, hosts a nice show usually on Tuesdays, talking about all the comic releases, and so there's always other guests in there that have a lot of fun with that. So good stuff. Let's move on. We got Star Wars. Holy smokes, Corey. We got some stuff coming up this week. Woo.
Yeah, this should be a good one. It should be a really, really good week. A lot of fun, a lot of big ones in here. I'm really excited for that helmet right there, which is making all kinds of waves in a lot of different places, which is really exciting to see. A lot of intention behind that one. Yeah, it's fun to see how excited people have been about it. I think Dan mentioned that in the business update a little, but it's been really awesome to see, some of the people who maybe have been sitting out for a while, popping back in to snag those things, which I kind of get. Like I came for Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I was kind of more of a Star Wars specific, and then I started getting a bunch of comics. So it's cool. Like I'm really happy to see that we're really devoting some attention to a fandom, because that's what VeVe's all about. It's about being the place where the world collects and celebrating all kinds of different amazing fandoms. So this has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. We have a couple drops coming up this weekend. We're just going to cover some of the ones, just recap a couple of the ones we just did. The site right here is great, everybody. Make sure you're sharing it out there. And if you're new to the channel here and you're watching this for the first time, you can see up in the top right corner, you can get that 10 gems free bonus if you're brand new. You just click that, follow through, and that'll help get you started, with this whole journey.
How much the comic is. the comic is 10 gems. In case you're curious what a gem is, a 10.
Yeah.
Every one gem is the equivalent of $1 US. But yeah, 10 gems will get you that helmet. 10 gems could get you that comic. I like the comic as an entry point, because not only are you getting a fully readable comic and the first appearance, that's like a pretty significant key comic, but you'll also redeem the matching framed collectible. So you'll start your collection with two things: a comic to read and a collectible that you can play with in augmented reality. Fire up your VeVeVerse account. You can start checking out our metaverse. But it's really solid entry point. And all those exclusive covers, minus the trade, the one in the center there from Addie Granoff. But the rest of those are all exclusively commissioned comic covers that Lucasfilm and we selected. And so can't get those covers anywhere else in the world. So it's pretty good stuff, man.
Yeah, that's coming up on Saturday in 2 days from now. Absolutely awesome.
I'm not going to miss that one. I'm not going to miss that
You're
one. I'm going
you're
to set
gonna make sure.
multiple alarms. I'm going to ask my wife to set an alarm.
Yeah, in store for 30 days only, because it falls under the same thing with Marvel. If 30 days only with Marvel and Star Wars comics, you can see right here. Corey, tell us what happens right here. So these are the digital collectibles, the framed Virgin covers, right? That you actually get with it. Yeah.
All the Virgin artwork. So whichever that comic, if you can go back one, the comic is a blind box.
Right here.
So you'll throw in your 10 gems, you'll be kicked out one of these 5 variants with, in case you're, new to the platform, we're super happy that you're watching. But the way comics work on VeVe is the common, the center one has the most editions, and then editions become more scarce. So there's less of the uncommon, less of the rare, less of the ultra rare, and the secret rare. That is the most scarce. And so whenever you throw in your 10 gems, you'll be kicked out randomly one of these variants. Whichever one you get, you can redeem that exact Virgin collectible framed all yourself via the crafting functions we have built into the app. So again, it's like a great entry point. You can snag your 10 gems, start up your account, grab a comic. You can read it in augmented reality. You can flip through it in the reader on the app. And then you can also snag, the frame version. I love it. It's like such a cool little entry point.
And what does the Virgin variant mean right here?
Virgin variant just means that there's no title treatments or anything like that. So if you go back one, you can see that the these all have like Star Wars, The Mandalorian, Marvel #1, the artist information, whereas the Virgin variants are untouched. There's nothing on the front of those, which is just a great way to display the artwork. And I think we did this once with Return of the Jedi #1 back in the day, and that was kind of just in a poster frame. I feel like this really makes it feel special because it's in a Beskar frame, which ties into the theme. And whenever we're getting all this exclusive art made, like it's really nice to display it as what it is, very amazing artwork from really legitimate, like Cliff Cramp. You've got Nicoletta Balderi, Rude. Brian Rude's like one of those Star Wars artists that people go after. So a lot of great artwork in that one.
Yeah, for sure. You can see here it is right here, 19 hours to go, Corey. And you can scroll down and then 10 gems right there. It's just,
we'll just answer this one really quick. Back to her. It's the same as it's always been in the sense that mints will always be random. If that is a feature you want, and I think I've mentioned this in a past live frame, like please use that feedback widget and put that in as a suggestion. If a lot of people are suggesting the same thing, we can see about the feasibility of that. But currently the way the crafting function works is whenever you take your item and then you use that to craft something, what gets kicked out is going to be randomized. Unsure of the technological, requirements for not making it that way. But if there's enough feedback indicating that is something that people want, that is something that would be looked into for sure. Thanks for that question.
Yeah, it's a great question, and this is it right here. So once you have the comic, I mean, there you go. You got the beautiful artwork right here.
That Rude, like I love Brian Rude as like a Star Wars. We got spoiled with Return of the Jedi #1 because the original artist for that one was Bill Sienkiewicz, and then Bill came back and did so that 1983 original Return of the Jedi #1 cover was by him, and then he gave us an exclusive cover whenever we released it on VeVe, which was just like chef's kiss. But having like Cliff Cramp, Nicoletta Balderi, Brian Rude, like in the mix, like we're just getting some really nice artwork.
Yeah, Nicoletta's right here. Everybody is really familiar with her right there. Absolutely amazing. Cliff Cramp right there. Addie Granoff. Simon right here as well.
Simon Prades. That's who I'm forgetting. I love that cover. That pink. It's really solid.
They're all awesome. These are so good. Let us know in the chat if you guys are excited about this one, like Corey and I are, and I know everybody else is as well. It's coming up, very shortly here, right? And but let's go back in time just a little bit with the Mandalorian. So this was an absolutely incredible drop that happened, obviously, just last week, and wow. I mean, people are just loving. Look at Grogu in Pram, and of course with the Mandalorian.
I've seen some really impressive lighting. People are really taking advantage of the VeVeverse lighting to highlight these collectibles. And I saw a few people stage that with some spotlights, And the detail on that Grogu is just unbelievable. The production team just did an outstanding job on it. But
Yeah.
that's what these drops should be about. You know, if you've got really premium major first appearance characters, that's the first time that character is ever going to be released in the history of digital collecting. And so it's really nice when that first of is that detailed.
Look at the Mandalorian right here. Look at him. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just playing the video here, but like, look at that.
The assistant editor did
Is
Loth did a
so
fantastic job on this. What he did is he took a bunch of him and I took a bunch of poster references for different Mandalorian fan made, and some are, you know, official Lucasfilm posters, and we try to frame out the shots to sort of replicate that look and feel, and use lighting elements. And he did a phenomenal job. I was so happy to see this.
I know. And the armor, if you got the armor, you can get that Beskar ingots right there, which is really cool. Just as a, you know, they come with her, you can craft those. And then you can see there's the secret rares with Grogu and Pram. Absolutely amazing. Great work. Thanks so much, everybody, for participating. It's been such a fun week. We're not done. I mean, like, then, of course, just stepping back a little earlier from that, we started off with the Stormtrooper drops. The reason we're doing this today, guys, we hadn't covered it because we weren't live last week. You know how I am about troopers. These are so great. There's the special editions right there with the squad leaders. You can see them there, and each one of them has that. So these are still available in the shop. I know people are army building. Of course, there's the Night Trooper, you know, if you watch that show on the Ahsoka show. And each one of these has their moment in Star Wars history. You can see, you know, they're so cool. I just can't believe it. We got these army builder ones. And I don't know how you felt about this drop here, Corey, but I
loved it. I loved it. I'm all about the troopers. The nice thing is we're just kind of scratching the surfaces of trooper variety. There's so many other troopers that exist that likely will make their way onto our platform. So I think for people who really like to build out what you're talking about, and we even saw it in the feed contest that you showed us earlier in this show. People are using those to sort of set up those columns of soldiers, like squads. So I think people are going to have a lot of fun staging these things, especially when you have a huge amount of variety.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that was a great drop. Still available, guys. The troopers, you know, they're actually doing quite well right there. If you want to go in there and you know, take your shot, try to get that special edition, one of those 3 that are available. There's one off each. So
I got one. I got
did you get one?
I got the Crimson. I think I got 5 or 6 troopers, and I got the Crimson special edition. I was like so stoked. I really like that. I mean, I love the Night Trooper. I think the Night Trooper from a design aesthetic, and also the production team spent so much time designing those cracks and filling in the gold to really make that collectible look as clean as it does. So I have got a lot of love for that one. But just in terms of the Crimson Trooper just stands out, right? Like that bright red. So I was so stoked whenever that rolled in. I was like, hey, let's go. That never happens. My wife's usually the one that gets all the luck.
Oh, yeah. Well, people are still picking them up. We've been watching the numbers, and they're building their armies as we speak. It's pretty awesome. So we got the comic coming up. Like you said, we talked about that as well. One thing we got coming up as well this Sunday, which is the 17th, which of course is this so which one's coming first right here? Let's just double check in the app right here. Okay, let's go to the latest drops. I just want to make sure we got the time down for everybody. So on the 16th, so these are tomorrow. The comic is tomorrow. Sorry, excuse me earlier. I actually said Saturday. This is tomorrow on Friday. If you're, of course, in the, you know, in the North American time zone, or if you're in the Europe area. This is on the Friday and the 8 a.m. Pacific time right there, 11 o'clock Eastern time. The helmets are coming on Sunday the 17th, or sorry, on Saturday the 17th. So it's usually Saturday, Sunday. So we're doing Friday, Saturday. So sorry, everybody. I got me a little mixed up right there. But the helmets are coming. And these helmets are so awesome. They're in blind box as well. This one's a little bit different. You saw the Mandalorian one. That was actually a standard drop, right, Corey? Like, so what's the difference between that, like the standard drop, and then this is the blind box drop for this one, though?
Blind box means that you'll put in your buy, and you'll be randomly assigned one of the variants. Randomizer is just going to kick that out. A really interesting thing about these helmets that, you know, a lot of people watching probably don't realize is whenever we mint a collectible, we need to make it a certain size so it can be viewed on anyone's mobile device on any internet. And so we can't make it too gigantic in terms of how much memory it requires. So whenever you have a stormtrooper, and those stormtroopers are really detailed, they're really, really impressive, but you have to share the amount of memory across that entire build. But whenever it's just a helmet, then you can inject all of that memory into just the helmet.
Just
and so
the helmet.
what you're going to be getting is some better textures, just a little bit cleaner, because again, we can devote more space, more polygons, more information into that single piece. So these things look really, really impressive.
Well, inside, people had questions too. We'll show you. We're going to talk really quickly about the one that opens up. That's the infographic one. That's amazing, right? These also have those same details on the inside. They just don't open up. So when you actually look at these helmets, right, Corey, you can turn them around. You can actually see inside. They actually have all the detail. They're fully 3D. You know, you can put them on, you know, on top of something if you want. Do whatever you want to do. But they also, like, these ones don't open up. We have the one that does, and that's a special one right here. But there's a fully 3D detailed interior as well.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. They're really, really nice. And again, that Night Trooper one looks so spectacular. Again, because they're able to apply all of the polygons to a smaller build size, which just gives you more details. So like the reflective surface, whenever you're pushing a light across that Night Trooper helmet and it's sort of a matte white, and then you hit those cracks with the gold, really, really noticeable. I think people are going to have a lot of fun. For those people that like to build and take pictures and sort of share the things they collect, they're really going to enjoy these ones.
Yeah, for sure. And then, of course, we have, this is what we wanted to talk about, you guys, the anatomy of the Stormtrooper helmet. Of course, this is the cross-section one that's coming out as well. Now, I noticed that, you know, our team, we picked up on something that, you know, the Star Wars, you know, community has already picked up on this helmet big time. We'll show that post on Reddit in just a second, but this one right here is quite special. I know we talked about it a bit 2 weeks ago, Corey, but maybe just give us a heads up about what this one is really all about, why this one is so important. Yeah. And how it's separated from the other drop.
Well, the reason we separated this one from the other ones is that we put a little bit more effort in the marketing of this one. Whenever we're looking at how we want to market and showcase our collectibles to new people, it's really important that we're putting our best foot forward. And with this helmet specifically, we're sort of adding to people's understanding of Star Wars. Right. It being cross-cut, showing the interior of that helmet, having the parts break down, it being approved by Lucasfilm, basically as a stamp of approval saying that is correct. Everything that is being displayed here and shown here, this is how the interior of a Stormtrooper should be. And that's not common information. I mean, there was one you have it, Aaron. There was one Star Wars encyclopedia quite a while ago that had an image that was almost identical to this with a crosscut. But in terms of an actual model that you can open up, because that's part of the animation, and look at and zoom in and on, it's one thing to look at a page in a book. It's another thing to drop the thing in augmented reality, make it the size of your living room.
Only the one side as well. This one's got the back side of the helmet too, which is correct. It actually has more detail, which is pretty crazy. So, but yeah.
And so this was us being able to add to Star Wars basically information, which is really important as a collectible company to establish our authority in the space. You know, it's not just us, you know, digitizing things and releasing things. We want to increase people's understanding of their own fandoms. We want to be able to contribute in big ways so they can celebrate their fandoms by knowing more about it. It's like, I'm sure whenever you watch Star Wars or a certain movie with a friend that's maybe not into it, you have all that sort of background information in your brain and you want to share it with them. So like the scene happens, you're like, hey, did you know in that scene, like actually, you know, Vigo broke his foot kicking the helmet and Lord of the Rings, right? Like, you know, the weird, that's what this is. Like, this is sort of a love letter to those fans. It gives them that information. We're already seeing people roll with it, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to bring up that we said as well is that if you actually go over to the Star Wars Reddit, they shared the image right here. They got it right here.
They scribbled off our logo though, but that's okay.
It's in there. And then you can see right here, there's like a ton of people interacting with this. This is fantastic. If you have a Reddit account, pop in there, check it out, interact, have some fun.
And what you're seeing in those comments is exactly the intention of that helmet. It's people asking each other questions like, what does that voice modulator even do? What is that mesh? if this helmet's so good, why do they die? And then people are like, well, actually they don't die. Like when they get shot, their armor dissipates the energy and it just knocks them out. They'll get right back up. There's just like a lot of interesting information from people who are huge fans. Over 200, someone posted this 6 days ago, grabbed our image, and there's over, 270 comments, over 6,000 upvotes. And that's exactly what we wanted. That was the whole point of this thing, was for us to inject ourselves into a fandom and provide something useful to them.
And the thing right here is that, like right here on their Star Wars Reddit, there's 4.2 million members of this. So this is getting eyes on it. And of course, the cool thing you mentioned about the VeVe logo thing is that this is actually now in Star Wars history. This is like now, like this is Star Wars themselves, like they now have a guide for the helmet, like in a 3-dimensional way, like never before. So get in there and have some fun with that one. It's absolutely crazy. We do have right here. Where is it? Right here. We have just some AR footage right here. Of course, this is of all the helmets and stuff right here, but you can see also the crafting ones we're going to talk about in just a second. But check it out. There is that. I just wanted to bring that one up right there. It's right there. You can see how it opens up. And there's just a small clip on that one, but let me just zoom back right here. You can see there's the lightsaber going through the head.
So good.
Here it is right here. Let me just pause it right there. You can see, just like you said, it opens up and you get the backside too, which actually was never shown before. That's, these padding right here. And if you're someone who wants to build these, like I've actually built a helmet before, I did not have this reference point. Like this, I wish I would have had this. If I could have done
for Bilbo and this comment. Yeah, absolutely. The entire intention of making that $10 offer there for a new user was that we would include a lot of product that was 10 gems. So the comic, the helmet, the stormtroopers, we even separated this helmet out so we could target it specifically. But a fair portion of the ads indicate that exactly. So yeah, we're on it. We're on it.
That's the whole push right there for sure. And there you go. There's that gold helmet, like you talked about the Night Trooper. So this is a really fun. Thanks to Mr. Falcon for putting together these videos. By the way,
work and does good stuff.
Absolutely awesome. If you actually look at the crafting, which is coming out. So this is the next stage right here, right, Corey? So we got the helmet drop. You go for that blind box, the whole thing, have some fun with it, do your thing. And then we have the secondary part of it, which then incorporates our previous collectibles. Dark Lord of the Sith right there, the Rancor, Skywalker lightsaber, Jawa number 3 for an extra 5 gems. You craft that and you get actually these helmets right here, which are themed. Just a ton of fun to take it to the next level. And then you have even more. So this is just the start of all this kind of stuff. I know that, right, Corey? We're working on all sorts of fun stuff.
And this is more of the love letter to fans, celebrating the things that you've collected in the past, tying past and current collectibles together, which again is a push as we move forward. We're trying to find ways, especially for the people who've been here a super long time, like you and me. A lot of people have been collecting since day one. So we really want to revisit those old things. Can we burn them? Can we just utilize them? What can we do? Just have you re-engage with those things that you love.
Yeah, 100%. And Dane, just stay tuned for more news. We don't want to spoil things for the future. It's always just a ton of fun, but stay tuned for official announcements. And
I can tell you with confidence, though, that just because this month is Star Wars month, it doesn't mean we're not releasing more Star Wars stuff until next May. We have a lot of, if you're a Star Wars fan, you're a Lucasfilm fan, we've got a lot more. But we just wanted to have one targeted month, around May the 4th and all that good stuff. So don't stress about that.
Oh, we're going to have more stuff, including, and this is one thing I wanted to show right here. We got the pod racers coming up.
Say it. You got to say it. Someone has to say it. Now that's pod racing. Now this is pod racing. So good.
Awesome. This is coming up just after the weekend as well. Just so cool, Corey. I mean, the video again is amazing. And the detail on these is incredible too. So I know people are really stoked about it. So you got a crazy weekend coming up. You got the comic on Friday. You got the Trooper helmets on Saturday. This, I believe, comes on Monday, I believe. We'll double check, but I believe it's coming up on Monday. And it's just so cool. I mean, the crazy part about this, Corey, is the diorama, the whole basically starting line, the Mos Espa. It's like, look at this right here. Look what you can do with that. and you can put people up there, and it's just so cool,
It'd
dude.
be fun. It'd be a good one to stage.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And this is all part of our website as well. So, we'll have some more posts about this one going out shortly, but absolutely incredible drop. And I know you guys are loving it. I mean, you asked us to come hard with Star Wars this month, and we've that one with the quad where it like blows up right off the start.
Yeah.
Each one of them has
Arrows power coupling. Because he rented a pod racer right before the race. They didn't know anything about. But yeah, these pod racers are really well done. They're really highly detailed. They used movie references to make sure that they're accurate. Obviously, they passed Lucasfilm's, seal of approval in terms of these are great representations of what the pod racers are.
Yeah.
But there's no other way to enjoy these collectibles other than in this format. Being able to place this like in your backyard, blow it up to the size where you could literally step into it.
Like
it's just going to give you such a huge amount of detail and understanding of what went into those. So I'm super stoked for this one. The cockpits are accurate, like pretty much every panel and pipe's accurate. Super, super solid. Sebulba, like the scale of that one's just so big.
There's really the quad one right there. And it's funny because if you like read into the text that goes with it, it tells the story of each one, which is cool. And that one, how he rented it right before. And I actually didn't even know that. That's the funny part too.
I see a lot of Jar Jar talk popping up. They want the true Dark Lord of the Sith, Jar Jar Binks, right?
Binks. Yeah, I know that they actually gave Darth Jar Jar, I think in the video game Fortnite, I think they released him because they have a whole Star Wars push this month.
Nice.
So, just like us, we're putting, we love it. We're having a ton of fun. So these are all coming out very soon right here. You'll see it pop up into the store here. And just stay tuned for that. And make sure you guys are following our content creators who have their live shows. There's going to be a ton of stuff right there happening around these drops. Of course, it's going to be great. I also wanted to bring up Doctor Strange right here. He's got a stack in our Slacking video on the Mandalorian one. You're going to want to watch that. There is a VeVe giveaway attached to those Stacking and Slacking videos. Thank you so much, Doctor Strange, for breaking it down. He goes through it, talks about the covers. Great video. You can just follow it right on his YouTube channel, or you can check it out right on his X page right there.
Super knowledgeable resource for comic information. In fact, whenever I first started my channel on VeVe, he was one of the people I would chat with to learn more about, certain comics that I had questions about. Sort of deep. You can use the internet and use Google Foo and all of that, but talking to a person that's been collecting for as long as he has just gives you a better insight.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. So this is great, guys. So we'll leave this behind and we'll talk more about it in a bit. But we have some other stuff coming up. We got to burn through some of this. And speaking of burning through,
literally burning.
This just announced, everybody, all BLACKPINK digital collectibles burn on May the 21st. All of it. And this goes in line with our Series 3 release that's coming out, which is very detailed. There's a whole blog around it. I know people are covering the whole show, the whole thing. They're like looking right into it. But all BLACKPINK collectibles are burning on May 21st. So this goes back to last year's releases. You can see right here, we have of course, the stage right here. We have the originals. Of course, we have the light sticks, which is a ton of fun. So check out our posts on that. And
that means 6 days from right now.
Yeah,
any unsold BLACKPINK collectible from Series 1, 2, or 3 burned. So that'll be wild. I'll be curious to see what the circulating supplies are on May 22nd.
On these amazing ones from last year, it's for sure. And of course, we tweeted out, of course, this is the BLACKPINK concert finale right here, Series 3. This one is only in store for 3 days only, everybody. So it's limited as well. So this, of course, starts up very shortly here. It comes on the 18th right here. So just after the weekend. And then you can see if you go where we have time to cover the whole blog right here because it's quite in depth. But if you go through, you'll see it. All of these right here. All the information is here for you right here. We got lots of edition sizes. But like I said, only 3 days these are available.
That's why
right here.
The edition sizes are higher because they're only available for 3 days. And not just whatever's left from them get burned from S3, but from Season 1, Season 2 too.
Yeah, it's a whole thing right here. So if you're a big Blink fan, check it out right here. And actually, it's crazy because if you look at our posts on X, they're getting a lot of attention from Blink fans who really want to come back from the band. They love the band. They want more music. They want to come back. And they're starting to see all of our posts and everything like that, which is really fantastic. So if you, review the whole blog, it goes all the way down right here. There's lots going on. I just want to scroll past some of this right here. And there's people who have broken this down too, so we'll rely on that. But we also have the neon lights right here, which are crazy. These are awesome. They totally light up. Those are awesome as well for each one of the band members. If we just scroll down right here, and you can see there's all the edition sizes and prices and everything. And then we also have right here the diorama series, which are amazing. These are super detailed, lots of fun right there. Of course, on the stage, you can see there's the different areas. There's like, if you ever watch them do their training, like, with their dance and stuff, this is like their studio. And
this will be straight up like a really usable space for people in the VeVeverse. So you don't have to build any of this furniture. So like, because there's a recording studio too. And the recording studio, if you look through the glass, has like all the like recording equipment, it's got microphones. So I feel like these spaces might find some use for people who just don't have the time or ability to build out really functional rooms. This, you're basically getting 4 separate rooms plus the stage in the center. For sure, you can put them all together to make a giant sort of boxed room, but you can separate each one of those out and just fabricate in your own walls, and you have pretty slick little spaces. It's really slick.
It's awesome. They do all go together, which is absolutely incredible right here. Check it out. And if you scroll right down right here, you can see all the way to the end. They got it all. You can see the light up right here. This is Take the Stage. You can see it's super cool, Corey. I mean, they Take the Stage, the crafting on that one. There's some crafting details right there. It's a secret rare.
And I think you can put the stage from Series 1 fits onto that platform as well, if I'm remembering that correctly from the production team. So if you all remember that one, it was like the stage and it had the big spiral. I think that was Series 1, right?
Yeah.
But it fits like right centered on that.
Which also will be on the 21st spring as well, remaining supply, which is amazing. And then, of course, right here, we have the light boxes as well. So we have the neon signs, we have the light boxes.
These are tap to activate lights.
Yeah, these are so cool. Ding, right there.
Similar to like the X-Men logo that we have, where you can tap and it turns on, and you can tap and it turns off. These function the same way.
Yeah,
I really like that one. The black and white, that sort of monochrome looks really, really nice lit up.
Yeah, you can do so much with these right here. The whole blog article is out. Make sure you review it. This is coming up a lot sooner than you think, everybody. And like I said, check out, of course, the original stuff from Series 1 and 2. And then, of course, right to the top of the blog right here, it shows the whole new series that we got. Very cool outfits, different designs and everything. Just a really in-depth drop for 3 days only. So we'll, provide more coverage. There'll be more posts coming out, more information for everybody as we get closer to it, because we're going through the Star Wars weekend as well right now. But this is coming up really fast. So make sure you check that out. Let's move on because we're running out of time almost, Corey. But you did a great video right here. And this is with Ken Hazer.
Yeah, Ken talked about his upcoming. Well, actually, it's live right now. His 1 of 1. Really, really nice guy. I have a full interview with him, which we're gonna try to get out in time. We're a little jam-packed right now, but a lot of great points. He's such like an awesome human being, really gracious, really fun to talk to, and just a huge talent. He has his own creator-owned work, which is really awesome as well. I think he mentions it in this video. But I'm really happy to see, Dynamite and some of these other artists getting to contribute their 1 of 1 exclusive works on the platform. So we just had Jay Lee also from Dynamite with his 1 of 1. That one I think had a physical companion, if I remember correctly. But yeah, really, really good. Go ahead and watch that if you haven't already. Yeah,
it's up on our YouTube channel as well. And of course, it's like also, live right now. If you go to the artwork section of the VeVe website, you can see it right here. You can bid right now on this one. It's a 1 of 1. Absolutely amazing. And there he is right there. Ken Hazer right there. Very cool guy. You can watch that little clip on our
He's one of the nicest people at conventions. I don't know if any of you have met him at a convention before, but he is one of those super gracious artists that will do amazing sketches for you, really give you his time. So really glad to see him included here.
Yeah, it's awesome for sure. And those 1 of 1s, I got to get my hands on a 1 of 1. We also had the Avengers number 195 come out with the Taskmaster. This comic, this is just a recap of some of the stuff we dropped. Just really quickly, and beautiful cover art as well. Look at the exclusive art right there. And of course, the secret rare with the Taskmaster. Well, actually, the Taskmaster is one of my favorite characters.
Me too. Sure. So good. It's such a cool character. So brutal. One of those characters that just takes a licking and just keeps on ticking. Like, because he
all of
learns
your
by getting
abilities.
his crap beat, like getting beat up is how he figures out how to beat you. So
Yeah.
it's always good reading, really enjoyable.
Yeah, this comic came out right here, which is great, in store for 30 days only if you want to pick up a copy of that. Then, of course, we just had the Iron Man 219, of course, with the first appearance of the Ghost. Now, of course, these tie in, of course, to the movies that are happening right now and all the relevant stuff that's going on with Marvel. One thing I wanted to mention about this, everybody, this is the first ever VeVe comic, complete your comic set graphic post that we have.
Really?
And yeah, this was awesome. So this is the first. As you can see, we're going to be like letting you guys know, if you collect a comic book set of 5 editions, 16.75 points per day on that set completion. Like you get the 100 points for bonus, of course, but comic sets, this is it. So we're going to be
some points.
Oh yeah. So this was the first one ever. I mean, there's comic sets were activated before this. This was just the first time there was a graphic shown. So we're going to keep providing everybody more info. Thanks, Corey, for your team for putting this together. It looks amazing. It's so cool to see all the covers together too.
Yeah, of course.
I really like, So we
We're
have
trying to find different ways to display all of that, but that's good for a stab.
Yeah, that's great. So that one's available now as well. And then we had the Planet Death comic come out, and then it came with that poster, which is amazing. So I know a lot of people managed to grab, well, not a lot of people, it's very scarce actually, got that poster right there. Yeah. Super scarce. Beautiful, absolutely awesome from Bad Idea. I mean, that was such a cool thing that happened as well. That happened last week. So you can see it in the marketplace. People have got that poster, and they're just having a ton of fun with it. Quick little note on that one. And then, of course, Ron English, this was yesterday. He had his drop right here, of course, the Delusionville, the comic right here, the philosophy, which is super cool.
Philosophy.
Yeah. And if you actually are on X, you can go back, and in O'Malley's X Space, he came up as a guest on the drop show. So he talked all about, the comic. He talked about other stuff. It's all recorded. So if you go back over to X and you find like O'Malley, who is somebody we support, of course, when they do the drop shows, doing tons of great stuff. And he was in the chat earlier today. Ron English came up there and they were talking and they had a really cool interview. I would check that out. A lot of insight from Ron.
I just received some Ron English assets, so more coming from him for sure on the collectible front. So I'm excited for all of you to see that, especially you longtime fans that have been collecting with him for quite a while.
Yeah, and he may have teased a few things there too. So if you want a little
Ron teasing things, no,
he never does that.
He's the best.
But yeah, super cool comic, amazing art. Of course, we love Ron. He's the best right here. And of course, we also had right here. This is today, Avengers 32. This is of course the Sign of the Serpent. This is awesome. You can see the set right here as well, and all the different cover variants. This one came out, so if you want that, go grab that in the store. A nice Silver Age book right there with a lot of really cool implications for future storylines as well. And this is just announced as well. We got X-Men #5, and this is coming out. This is Magneto and all of them. So this is like one of those amazing earlier X-Men Silver Age books, Corey. I know how much we love these. We just had X-Men 2 come out a short time ago. These are such great. Look at the cover art right there.
These are the comics that you find as a kid, like in an antique store. Like for me, like my dad did stamps and coins, and I did stamps too. But while he would be talking forever, the person that owns the shop, I'd be like rifling through, and you'd see one of these, and you'd be like, X-Men #5, and it's $4. I'm rich. And, you think you found like the holy grail of comics.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, thanks OM Dub right there. He actually put a link right there to that space with Ron English as the guest. That's really handy if you want to click that, everybody, right as soon as we're done. We're almost done here today. But yeah, super cool. So that one just came out as well. And you can see completing the set on that one. I love those graphics. I can't help myself. And then, of course, this comic was burned just last week, before we were live again. X-Men #1, first appearance of Dr. Stasis. So this comic was actually burned from the supply. This Scotty Young cover right here, Corey. I've seen people posting about that because the remaining supply was burnt. So if you're one of those Scotty Young completionists, you better check that one out. I'm just going to say people have put that one in there, right? Which is cool. And coming up, our next burning one right here we have actually is going to be Captain America 333. So this is in a couple days. We will be posting about this shortly. So if you guys are interested in this amazing comic, check it out. This is one of those iconic covers that everybody knows. I have one of these in my collection. I have to have that cover. It was from my when I
need to look at the market because I might start clearing more comic sets, to be honest. I'm not quite sure where SRs are sitting, But yeah, I'm gonna start clearing those.
Yeah,
I bet I could complete a lot of sets if I just go back through, because I have so many comics at this point. But it's just like hunting down the, a couple strays so I can lock in those set rewards.
For sure. And Thunderbolts right here is the next one that's going to be burnt after that. So stay tuned for that. You can see the Winter Soldier, the toy package cover, which is really key. And I know people love those as well. We did have a video that we released on how to join Stacker. So if you want to go to our YouTube page, check it out. There's a familiar voice in there.
Whose voice is that?
I don't know. It's just some weird, some guy who knows things maybe. But anyway, it's a really, it's a little easy to follow video that you might want to check out. If you haven't got on the Stacker yet and you're interested and you want to start participating and doing all of that with Omi and everything that's going on right there, it's a really good feature. Little quick, easy video for you to follow how to sign up and how to join. It's right on our YouTube page. You can just go click on that. It's a short video, very easy. So if you have any questions, make sure you go to the Stacker X page or to Akomi's page as well. You can ask there, or you can do it right in the Discord or right in our app. So either way, we'll help get you on board on that one. Now, coming up right here, I just wanted to end off this thing right here, Corey. Oh my God, we have some amazing stuff coming out right here. Look at the AR from Daredevil.
Yeah, been archiving more AR footage. Falcon's been doing such a good job cutting those, and then we have to get them approved and all that good stuff. But I'm really glad to have all these in the bucket so I can include them in different advertisements and campaigns. It's just good to have a huge archive of AR, because it's one of the cool features of a digital collectible. Imagine taking anything on your shelf behind you out into the wild to take pictures like on a sidewalk next to a busy street. You'd be a little stressed about it, but much.
Well, look at how good Daredevil looks right here. Absolutely amazing. Of course, really you can pick him up in the market. Remaining supply of the store is gone. He was one of the ones that was burned a while ago, and he's just absolutely incredible right there.
This one going out so we can be a part, so we could be a part of the Daredevil Born Again hype. Anytime something is happening sort of in the cultural zeitgeist, we want to release things that are related to it so we can sort of be part of that conversation, show people, you really like Daredevil? Well, here's an application for that character. Here's a way to collect it that maybe you didn't realize. And here's what it looks like, if you grab one of those. So
for sure.
A lot of fun.
And Matt Murdock is actually pretty awesome too. And there's some more to talk about how he interacts with his diorama. We'll talk about that later, but check out the Fantastic Four, all of the upgrades right here. This is another great video that you guys put together that we'll be sharing. Mm-hmm. It's so cool. Look at the graphics. Look at the animations. Absolutely love it. I have this set. I had to get
it. I like whenever we revisit past collectibles.
Yeah, super cool. Look at this right here. We got look at Dr. Doom too. He's awesome right there as well.
He's my favorite.
Yeah. Next one we come up. We're just having some fun here with that before we end. Gambit right here. Look at how awesome he looks. Look at that, the secret rare and everything, and the detail on this
that card flip's crazy, and that was crazy for them to animate, like moving the digits and having an object move through it without it clipping through fingers and stuff. Really good end result. Beautiful collectible.
Oh, one of the best. And then we'll end it off here with Kingpin. With that classic look. What's this called again, Corey? Do you remember the way that he's drawn? It's a classic kind of
cell shading.
Look. Yeah, the cell shading. That's so cool. Look at how good he looks.
Yeah, it reminds me of if anyone's ever played Borderlands, the video game uses a very similar theme. I really like it. It's really clean. Kind of into the Spider-Verse a little. I use some of those themes too. But yeah, it's super slick.
Absolutely awesome. So stay tuned for more of that, guys. We'll see those out. Corey, we're going to get out of here now. I know we got to go. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming out today, as always. And thank you so much to Josh and LMW for helping out moderate. Thank you to all our content creators for your amazing work. And thanks so much, everybody, for your patience during this time as we have the more announcements that have come out. Check out our business update video. Thank you, Corey, for putting that together with our founders. Super great. And if you have any questions, make sure you ask them in a feedback chat or, come into the Discord, check it out there. But we will see you again in our next video. Have fun with Star Wars weekend. Support your content creators.
And good luck. Happy collecting.